Honestly, the moment that the black screens come alive with the environment and the artist in front of it is a little bit mind-blowing.
We just completed 2 music videos for Jackson Wang. One's called Cruel and one is called Come Alive. I got the track for Cruel, and they knew they wanted it to take place in the apocalypse.
So it was an ambitious concept. Typically, that would be relegated to a VFX-heavy green screen shoot and a very lengthy post-production schedule to execute that.
We just happened to be at the time putting together our virtual production stage. The planets sort of aligned, and it was a great opportunity for us to sort of jump into the deep end of virtual production.
From a cinematography standpoint, I had a certain checklist of what I would hope to achieve in a volume space that would give me the freedom to move the camera any way I wanted. One of those requirements was having full resolution on the ceiling. So we devised a solution where we had inside-out tracking. We had a sensor on the camera and little IR reflectors in the ceiling. So we had this sort of perfect transition of the ceiling and the wall. So I could put a camera low and I could point up and not have to worry about the post-production end of that.
So it's 2 big environments that needed to look good almost in 360 because a lot of the video is long handheld oneers. We had under 2 weeks, so we had to build the environments and then get them on the stage and start to test.
It was kind of a kit-bashing dream. Using Unreal, we were able to sort of harvest from the marketplace and from our vast library of assets and make something really gigantic that we wouldn't have been able to do any other way.
You know, when we first brought up the post-apocalyptic environment, fully dressed with all the rubble and car husks, the look on their faces was just awe, and they couldn't believe what they were seeing. Trying to figure out where that line of demarcation from the actual set was and what the wall was, when you have that sort of horizon line really sort of dressed, what is real and what is fake? Even more so when I have it up through the lens. And when they saw the first shot, it was game on. It was like, oh, okay, wow.
I don't think I was prepared for how great it was going to look and work, especially through camera.
One of the joys of actually working in virtual production is that you can put the camera anywhere you want and find shots. It's not like it's a prescribed, we're doing this angle and there's a budget to do the compositing and the roto and the tracking. It's fair game. You can create as many shots as you want without adding any more expense than just being on the stage to begin with.
If this particular angle doesn't look great, or if there's some piece of architecture that you want to just get in frame, it's easy, right? You just move a 20-story building 100 feet and it works, you know?
There was a lot of handheld, so the choreography of the camera was as important as the dancers, and then everything else was just natural that we move the camera and we're seeing the environment and it looks great. And know that they have it in camera.
Every take, the dancers and Jackson would come to check out what they were doing, and you could see the excitement sort of welling up on their faces and just blurting out all kinds of obscenities about how rad it looked. But it's because, you know, they were able to see the world they were in. It was infectious, and it made them go harder the next time because they wanted to make sure that, you know, they were getting everything lined up because everything else was sort of filling in so well. There was a shot where they do this big dance number, and then the queen kind of grabs Jackson by the throat and then lifts him up into the air. It's meant to look like they go several hundred feet into the air, and then the camera needs to spin around them. The old school way would be to put them on a wire and actually lift them up into the air. You know, it means bringing in a whole stunt team. You get into like the big bulgy harnesses, you've got to paint everything out. This is one of these kind of beautiful things about virtual production. We put them on a turntable. We operated the camera handheld around them.
We had our Unreal operator, she did some calculations and came up with a comparable rotation of the Unreal environment in concert with the turntable, and then took the environment and slowly dropped the floor level of that.
So what you get is this perceived motion of spinning and lift.
It was actually really exciting to do that on camera. It's all magic as far as I'm concerned. Ultimately, it's really satisfying to look back at what we achieved. You know, the editor got the footage and was just like, where did you guys shoot this thing at? He had no idea. Like, what was the budget on this thing? You know, your only limit is really the creativity of the filmmaker now. You can do anything.
You see the difference in the final product. And if I don't ever have to work with green screen again, I'll be a happy person.
I can't stress just how awesome it feels to know that you were able to capture something so big and so epic. Being able to come away from a shoot knowing that was all in camera. At the end of every day, my drive home, the hair on the back of my neck was standing up. I'm all in. I'm totally an Unreal fanboy at this point. And virtual production, I can't sing its praises enough.